Welcome to Business Incubator, where we talk about the relevant strategies for your business and your life to stay on track in the time of the pandemic. So today we're going to be talking all about letting go of fear and anxiety and just being yourself in the time that your kids are staying at home. And specifically for you parents, this is going to be a great episode where you're going to learn a lot about staying calm and avoiding fear. Today I'll be talking to Connie, and Connie D is a yoga instructor, energy healer, and spiritual being having a human experience. She's married to her high school sweetheart of almost 30 years, and together they have 4 amazing children. A graduate and counsel member of the Architect of Being program with Travis Fox, she spent the last 2 years learning the tools to unwind the mind and drop into the heart, and now teaches others how to do the same. In the world where people are driven by fear and ego, what a beautiful gift to be able to let go of the past and truly be present in the now. So welcome, Connie. I'm super excited to have you. Connie, I really want to just dive in and bring up what's on everybody's mind. I'm not a parent, but I have so many friends who are, and right now their kids are stuck at home. Now, never mind for kids, it's probably really hard to not see their friends and go to school, but I can't imagine being a parent who all of a sudden has to spend 24 hours in the day with kids trying to figure out how to occupy them. So let's talk about it. What are some of the things that you're doing right now with 4 children? Holy crap, that's a lot of kids. I have a cat, so she's easy. So what are some of the things you're doing with your 4 kids to make sure the sanity is still there?
Well, I have 3 kids at home, and I have 1 daughter who is married and living in a different province. So it's just the 3 kids that I have at home right now.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you right now that one of them is going to interrupt this. So this is live, and this is exactly. Hi. This is exactly what we're all dealing with. This is Caius. Okay. Can you give me just a few minutes? This is parenting real time. Okay, this is what we are all dealing with right now. So can you please give me just a few minutes? Thank you. Thank you. You can read a book for a few minutes. Sure, go. Go, yes, please. Thank you. Close the door.
This reminds me of a video that went viral when the news, I think it was consultant.
Yeah.
Was on the news, and his kid walked in, and then the second kid walked in.
Yeah, and the nanny, she was in the background, and you could see her like opening up the door and like grabbing onto the kid. Yeah, that's life right now for every parent. And I just want to say right now that we are all in this together, and what a beautiful space for us to be able to provide support for one another. Mm-hmm. And just to just have patience, because that is the single biggest thing right now, is that we all just need to learn to take a deep breath and just to breathe and have patience, because this is something that is so out of the normal for everyone. And I don't want to call this the new normal, because I'm hoping that it isn't, but what if it did become the new normal for us? What are the things that we can do to help each other and to help ourselves? And one of the biggest tools that I learned while I was going through my Architect of Being journey, which has been 2 years now, is that when we take the time for ourselves, we automatically become more patient, and we become more peaceful in our daily proceedings, so to speak. So my kids, I am not a homeschooler. I have so much respect for the teaching profession, because what they do and how they navigate 30 children at a time is like commendable. They all deserve to have badges of honor, because it is a tough job. Being a parent is a tough job, but being a parent to 30 kids that aren't actually your own, that's like sainthood. So some of the things that we're doing in our family, because we are also, I mean, this is a tough gig for everyone. Parents now need to be the administrator for their own kids' education. And for some parents, they're going to slide into that new role and be completely fine with it. There are other parents who are probably feeling panic, probably feeling anxiety. There's going to be a whole new level of impatience, because let's face it, some kids can be challenging, but now you get to deal with the challenging aspect of being a parent, but also being on the front line of providing that education for them and making sure that they are actually tuning in to the things that the education system is now providing for us. So that in itself is something that parents, this is a great opportunity for them to unwind from that fear and anxiety and panic and stress and all of those different things, while they're learning how to become teachers. So it's just a really different space to be in. For me, it's all about breathing. It's all about finding time, even if it's 5 minutes, just to sit there and be still and to get out of my own head and dealing with the thoughts. Am I doing this right? How am I comparing to other parents that are doing the same thing as me? Will my kids hate me after this? Will I hate my kids after this? These are all questions that are running through everyone's mind right now, or through parents' mind. And I just want to offer some support and to say, you are all going to do just great during this. And if you feel like you're getting too frustrated or too upset with what's happening, then reach out to someone and talk to pretty much anyone. We're all doing the same thing right now. And it's the more that we stick together during this, the better this is going to be. And there will be a beautiful light at the end of what we sometimes might feel as a tunnel right now.
Yeah, no kidding. And for those parents who are trying to figure out the dynamic of the whole family as we're going through it, what are some of the recommendations that you have? Because like husband wife, or wife husband husband, just couples who are stuck in this together, surely it would get frustrating. I'm not married. I am isolating with the roommate, and even we go through the ups and downs of love and frustration and isolation from each other.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
how can couples deal with that?
Well, I've got almost 30 years experience with Barry, as you alluded to in the introduction there. And we've got a really great system of balancing off of one another, because I will admit there are times when I do get frustrated and I lose my cool, and we kind of provide that balance of one another. So if I feel frustrated, then I walk away, and Barry, bless his soul, he'll step in at those times, because let's face it, everyone is going to get frustrated. There are going to be times when we do feel anger, we do feel frustration, we feel sadness, because this is different. It's so different. People have been plucked away from their lives and placed into the confinements of their own home. We are on isolation just because Caius has had pneumonia, and I have an autoimmune disease. And so the biggest thing for me is just to take the time so that you can actually connect with one another, as husband and wife, as wife and wife. Love who you love. That doesn't really matter at this point. It's just having the patience. So some of the things that we've done as a family, Barry is still out. We have a private office that he goes to quite often. And when he does get home, we do things like we go for a walk. And as long as you are staying a far enough distance away from others, because it seems like everyone is out for walks these days, and hold hands. If you aren't being completely isolated, then hug. I like to say that I'm a professional hugger because I absolutely adore hugging. So for me, this almost hurts my heart a little bit that I can't embrace the people that I love, embrace my friends. But if you do have a significant other, or just your kids, like if you are not in a state of being completely isolated, like quarantine, then as long as you've washed your hands and disinfected, then hug, embrace, love on one another even more than you were before. Kids need that because they are being so disconnected from everyone that they know. It's really important for us to have that touch with the people that we love. And connecting on social media platforms, whether it's Zoom or I think the kids are on one called House Party right now. And I let my kids, and we are connecting with our families in way different ways than we ever have. And I don't shut my kids down on it. And I also don't make them follow a strict rule as to how much time they can spend when they're socializing with their friends. You know, when you think about it, they spend 6 hours a day socializing with their friends at school, and now we've plucked them from that. So, you know, letting your kids be on FaceTime or whatever for an hour, really at the end of the day, is that going to be a big deal when we're isolated for who knows how long, 3 months? Like, so I think that the biggest thing we can do is just provide that leniency.
Yeah, absolutely. And I also know that you practice yoga, right?
Oh, I love yoga.
Do you involve your kids?
What's that?
Do you involve your kids?
Actually, we are filming tomorrow. We are doing live family yoga from my new formed studio in my basement. And we are going to be putting that out to quite a few people. We're going to be putting it out live on our Architecting Vinyasa page. And we are encouraging parents to get involved with their kids. There's nothing more beneficial for the body than breath and energetic movement. So definitely one way to combat stress and fear and anxiety is to breathe through the whole process and get your body moving.
Fantastic. And again, what was the page name so we can drop it below?
It's called Architecting Vinyasa.
Perfect. So again, you can check the link to the page below and join Connie in her Architect of Being tribe in doing some yoga with your family, bring your kids. I think it's so phenomenal that you guys are doing that. I know I'm having a lot of conversations with parents where they're not quite sure what to do now, how strict to be with electronics or not strict, and what to allow them to do and how to keep them occupied in January. So I think resources like that is what's going to truly keep us together as a community and as human beings, because we're getting stress all over, and this is going to be a game changer. So thank you for providing that.
Yeah, no problem. And you know what? There's so many resources that are available right now. And there's lots of kids that they need the structure. They need to have that 9 to 3 routine. That's what keeps them motivated. That's what keeps them on track. And that's great if you're able to provide that. Here's the big thing. Stop kicking your own ass if you can't. Yes. Like it's just that simple. Like, we're not all perfect. None of us are perfect. And none of us are perfecting how we navigate this. But the biggest thing is be gentle, be kind to yourself, and know that we're all going to get through this. We're going to get through it together. And even if there is one resource, even if you tap into any yoga site, there are so many people who have brought their yoga practices online. And like you alluded to, Architecting Vinyasa, just find a way that you can connect to yourself. Because when you are putting so much energy into your kids, it's really easy to forget that we need to also connect with ourselves. So.
Well, thank you so much, Connie, for coming in and sharing.
Thank you, Kat.
And your wiseness. It's been phenomenal to have you here. I'm sure a lot of parents are going to appreciate all the stuff that you shared today. And stay safe.
You too, my friend.